So, you've been watching these videos and you're questioning where it's actually going. That's what we're going to cover in this video. We're going to cover where we're going, what we're doing, and how we're going to get there. I'm going to specifically talk about you and how you're going to progress. So I've split it into 3 sections: early, mid, and end. We can sort of think of it as a game. So you've got the early game, the mid game, and the end game. Sort of like a Fortnite game, right? In the early game, you do something different from the mid game, and in the mid game, you do something different from the end game. It's all different, right? So in the early game of what we're doing here, and what maybe you've been implementing from watching these videos, is consistency. In the early game, it's all about just exercising every day, just doing push-ups every single day. That's what the early game is all about. It's all about having bad habits but trying to fix them and desperately wanting to. It's all about not having the self-control to actually do it just yet. It's about not having much knowledge but sort of just acting. In order to get into the rest of the game, it's all about the momentum, right? Like if you go into a Fortnite game and you literally just go onto an island and you just don't do anything, you just leave your account, you go take a snack, you talk to somebody else, you come back and it's the mid game, you have no momentum. You haven't looted, you haven't collected any materials, you haven't done any of that. You've got no momentum. The rest of the game is probably going to be ruined because of it. So the early game is all about building the momentum for the rest of the game. And that's what you've really got to focus on. Building that momentum. For the first few months I started, I lost some momentum. And after that, I built it all back up again. And that was perfect. It's all about the momentum. And the mid game is about the sacrifice. So after you've gone through all of that, it's all about the sacrifice. The mid game looks very weird to people. And in the mid game, the more you sacrifice, the more you get. So think about this way. Sacrifice. If you want to achieve success, every successful person has one thing in common: sacrifice. They all sacrificed something to get where they are. So the mid game is all about sacrifice. It's all about not eating that junk food, not going out to party, not not watching Netflix for the next 2 hours. It's all about the sacrifice. It's just about sacrificing everything. Sacrificing every single thing that is not aligned to what you're trying to do. Seriously, that's how extreme you want to get in the mid game. The reason you get that extreme is because everything you sacrifice in the mid game compounds into the end game. If you don't sacrifice anything in the mid game, you stay in the mid game. And guess what, bro? The storm comes in and you die. It's simple as, right? You wanna sacrifice in the mid game so you can get to the end game. And the end game is the thing that everybody wants. It's the Lamborghini in the garage. It's the money. It's the fame. It's just whatever you sacrificed for in the mid game. If you didn't sacrifice anything, you're dead to the storm. You're done, bro. Like, okay, so what? Your life is probably gonna be like somewhat better than the average person from now on. Like, good for you. But if you can just go through the mid game and the early game, you get to the end game, and that's where the actual stuff goes down. You're actually properly, goodly successful. You're actually like sitting back, and you just open your bank account. It's like, oh, £10,000 in. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's the end game, right? It's all about that. It's all about that, right? If you look at some successful, like Jeff Bezos, he's richest man in the world. For 9 years, Amazon. So Jeff Bezos, basically, his company is Amazon, right? Was unsuccessful. It was non-profitable. Amazon was a non-profitable business for 9 years, almost a decade. And then he changed a few things. He got people hooked to Amazon, then he changed a few things, and now he's richest man in the world. He sacrificed 9 years of Lamborghinis and he sacrificed 9 years of hard work. I'm sure he worked very hard on that. Elon Musk sleeps in his office. All successful people, they all just sacrifice, bro. And if you're not prepared to sacrifice, you just won't get anywhere. Like, you might as well cut off the video now. You're not going to go for the mid game, so you're never going to get to the end game. It's as simple as if you go for the early game, you will live a slightly better life than the average person. Right? You'll learn some sort of self-control. You'll get consistent in some good habits, and that's all great. But if you don't go for the mid game, you'll live a above average life, and that's about it. If you go for the mid game, you'll live a top 1% life. It's as simple as that, bro. That's how important the mid game is, right? Think about mid game. So this is where your life is gonna go, right? Right now, you're probably in the early game. Like, you'd be pretty much out in the early game. You probably got some bad habits that you don't really want. You're probably can't get consistent in all the habits that I've been like teaching you. Like, oh, do some push-ups, bro. Like, you've probably been doing like pretty inconsistently. Like, maybe you have been doing it consistently, and that's fantastic. We really want to get you through this early game. Maybe you don't have much self-control. Like, you just randomly start doing habits that you really don't like, and you actually like it makes you almost sick thinking that you do those things. Like, gives you like some disgust. If you can just get that momentum, that early game momentum, find your purpose. That is the best way to do that. Honestly, it's infinite motivation just finding your purpose. If you can just get that momentum in the early game, you'll make it to the mid game. It's as simple as that. If you can build up the momentum of your actions, basically by momentum I just mean doing push-ups every single day and getting to like 50 kg bench press. That's like momentum, right? That's like the momentum of your habits starting to build up. You want to get that in the early game because that's what's going to lead to true success. And then sacrificing everything but the few things that you actually want, and then literally just having the results and doing whatever from there you think is best. We'll talk about the early game a bit. So basically all my videos are basically for the early and mid game. So if you look at, I've got two channels, right? If you didn't know this, I've got this channel called 7, which is like my main channel, where I post like long videos that are like highly educational, and then I have a second channel called just my name, Samuel Anderson Man, and it literally is just where I post like daily videos, but they're like maybe 5-10 minutes, so a bit more like what's the word, like dopamine-y. Well, not dopamine, but like short attention span-y. You know what I mean? And it's just and those videos are more for the early game people, so they're great for the early game. These videos are probably more for the mid game people or the late early game people. Like, if you're like early game, then like you're probably gonna be watching the shorter videos that are like still helpful, but they're not like 50 minutes just talking about sleep, right? You know what I mean? And the mid game is where you just want to learn about those. You want to watch those long like videos on like sleep or something, because they're gonna start compounding like big results. It's all about sacrifice, bro. I'll talk about me. I'm going to tell you the result of sacrifice. I'm going to tell you exactly what I've done today. Exactly. I woke up. I tend to do that. Never. Yeah, okay, so I woke up, I went outside, and I got some daylight. I then read a couple chapters of some books I like. Way of the Superior Man. I've been reading that a lot recently. I then went upstairs, just rested, just for like 5-10 minutes, just to get some energy up for the next activity, because I just went for a walk. I only went for a 15-minute walk today because I had to go to the bank later, so put some money in my account, and then came back, and I just did like a workout. I just did all those sets. Like, this is everything I did in order, right? And then I was very tired after that, so I rested again. And then I literally just ate some food. And I think what did I do? I sat here, I was eating food, and I was just like watching a podcast. Literally just learning. And then I just went into my lounge. Maybe I had a conversation with some of my family or something. And then I literally just I've got like some chickens. I went into the hut and I literally just grabbed some eggs. I went upstairs, cooked those, I ate those. I then What did I do after that? I then like, and then I went into this room. No. And then I went to the bank, put some money in my account. No. Yeah, I did that. And then I came back, and then I sat here, and I started recording some videos. That's everything I've done today. You may hear that and think, oh, he's pretty productive, bro. But sacrifice. If we compare that to your daily routine, mine has a lot more sacrifice. You don't understand how much I've sacrificed, right? Like, I'll give you an example. Last night, literally last night, I walked into my lounge, and they asked me if I wanted a burger. I said yeah, sure. And then they said something like, well, I'm trying to remember the exact line, like, oh, do you need money then? And I was like, oh, a takeaway burger. Oh, no, I don't want one then. And then they're like, oh, why? Why do you always do this? Like, oh, what's wrong with you? Like, that's the sort of like some of those words were actually what they said. Like, why? And I was like, what, nutrition goal, health goal, just like you know what I mean. So I can't tell you how much of a sacrifice that was for me, bro. When it's repetitive, like the night before last night, my mum literally just put a slice of pizza on my dinner plate, and I literally just ate everything around the slice of pizza. By the way, I literally used to eat like full pizzas every single night for my tea. I literally was that addicted to pizza, and she put a slice of pizza on my plate. I've got my nutrition goals, I've got my health goals. I'm trying to eat eggs every day. I'm trying to gain weight as well. And I literally just ate everything around the slice of pizza, and then I traded the slice of pizza to my mum for some more of like the pasta, and then I just ate the pasta. Like honestly, it's a daily sacrifice, bro. Oh my god, like, bro, it's insane. Like, when you were addicted to pizza and there's just a slice right there, I've sort of just learned to be grateful for it. Honestly, that's the only way I get around it. I sort of just what's the word? I just I just see it as a challenge to be grateful for. I wrote this last night. I'll try and read. Yeah, here it is. When something, when somebody tries to take you away from your purpose. Yo, sorry, bro. Phone ran out, so I had to delete some stuff. Okay, where were we? Okay, yeah. So I was talking about this line that I wrote literally just yesterday. When something tries to take you away from your purpose, don't view it as an enemy of your soul, but a challenge to be grateful for. I think that's the way to view all these stuff. It's like, bro, if you get offered a slice of pizza, it's not like the person giving to you is like an enemy of your soul. They just don't understand. Like, but it's like it's a challenge. It's like a challenge. Like, are you brave enough to literally reject the food you were addicted to for years for your purpose? And you sit there and you're like, yes, I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes eating this, staring at that slice of pizza and saying, no, I will not eat that. And then literally just being grateful for that because you have so much more self-control now and you're able to do so much more now. I think that's a lot better way for looking at it if you want. And I found it really helpful. Anyway, so that's the mid-game. It's all about sacrifice. It's all about not having the slice of pizza now. So 6 months from now, I'll be looking back and thinking, bro, he didn't have that slice of pizza that one time, bro. And now look at me, bro. I've got all this muscles, like, this is my bicep is killing me, though. yeah, just achieving these goals. So yeah, that's why, bro. That's why. It's because it's not for my purpose, bro. Like, that's why. And the more you sacrifice, the more slices of pizzas you sacrifice, the more you get in the long term, in the end game. which is where there is money, there is fame, and there is whatever else you sacrificed for. If I sacrifice the slice of pizza now, in the end game, I will be, I don't know, I'll just have an extra like 2k in the bank, right? Like you know, it's all like exponential. Like a slice of pizza now isn't a slice of pizza now. It's an extra 2k in the long term. Like genuinely, I'm not even messing around because it works exponentially, right? A slice of pizza today is like a 5% more chance to have a slice of pizza every other time you get offered a slice of pizza, and then say that's more like 12 slices of pizza, and then it sort of just exponentially happens, and then you get to the point where it actually loses you 2k because on like one of the day when you were really successful, like, you ate a slice of pizza and it like worsened the quality of your YouTube video by like it's all like very metricy, but it's all sacrifice that you have to do for the end game in order for you to actually get to the end game. That's what it is, momentum and sacrifice. Honestly. But they're literally the keys to success, momentum and sacrifice. If you can build up momentum with the stuff you do every single day, and you can sacrifice everything else, you will achieve success. Wow. That's a good formula, though. Momentum plus success equals... No. Momentum plus sacrifice equals success. That's your formula. Momentum plus sacrifice equals success. It's like riding a bike, bro. Like you don't know how, and then you just sort of learn that you just need to push and then get on it like this, and then just keep pushing and momentum, and then it's easy from there. So it's like the first 5 seconds of a bike that's like the hardest bit, and then it's like easy as heck because you're building up that momentum, and then it's like you're just racing along. Like when I sat to record today, I wasn't like, oh, I better record. I just recorded because I record on Wednesdays. It's just what I do. Right? I wasn't constantly thinking, oh, I better record. It's because I built up the momentum. I built up the momentum over recording after recording after recording. But I'm just sat here now, and I've sacrificed everything else so that I can do this. That's what you need, bro. I hope I help you. I hope you know where your life is going now. If you just keep watching these videos, if you just keep learning, eventually you'll build up the momentum. Eventually you'll be that guy who just works out every day. And then your job, when you're very, very consistent, is to sacrifice everything else. Everything else. Everything that is not completely conducive to your goals, you must sacrifice. And the more you sacrifice, the more you get in the long term. And that's how Elon Musk made it. That's how everybody else made it. It's the formula, bro. Momentum plus success. No, sorry. I keep saying plus success. Just momentum plus sacrifice equals success. That's actually incredible, bro. Like, I'm glad I was able to come up with my own formula. I'm gonna write that down. When I'll write a book one day, and I'll just be writing that like momentum plus sacrifice equals success. Like really, I'll have a really professional voice by then. Momentum plus. I'm gonna think about this later, bro. This is actually kind of sick. I hope that helped you, bro. View it as a challenge to be grateful for. Just build up that momentum, bro. Become that guy. Like, just read every day, bro. Just keep working out, mate. Just build up that momentum. You'll get there in the end. I'm astonished by that formula, bro. Okay. That's my value for today. My name is Sam. Our name is Seven. Fix your brokenness for your purpose.